Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Man, down to the wire. Hello, everybody. Oh my God, it's a race. David, you were first. Good evening, Mom. Hello, everybody. I like the little countdown. I'm still writing in the transposition. I took this down a step. This is music and words. Good evening. This is the No-Show. These are words and music by Dale Evans. Dale Evans, not a man like I thought. Dale Evans, wife of Roy Rogers. This is their song. Apparently, this was their outro song for their radio show in the 40s and the 50s. Let's give this another whirl. Mind you, it's a good trigger warning. That's good. That's a horse joke. Some trails are happy ones. Some trails are happy ones. Others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Everyone grab a horse. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Yeah, it's a funny song to open a show with. It's a goodbye song. It's a good goodbye song, but I keep seeing this song in the book and I keep wanting to sing it, and all I had in my ear was the last four bars. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. Yes, again, Leslie. I felt like singing it as again. It's very philosophical. Some trails are happy, some are not happy. You can't control that. All you can control is how you ride your horse. You can't even control your horse, honestly, so. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one, a happy trail. Happy one for you. Yes, Leslie, I do need some clomping horse hooves. I only have so many hands. Two of them are on the ukulele. One of them's on the phone. You ever pull up, "Good evening, everybody." Thank you, Mary. That's very generous of you. The whistling, interestingly, the whistling is better in a higher key. I lowered this because I wanted to sing it a step down, but if you whistle in a slightly higher key, anyway, I guess it's debatable. If the whistling, I think the whistling has a little more of a whistle to it. Where was I today when I saw an emergency whistle for sale? I swear to God, I'm not hallucinating this. I was in a store and I saw that they were selling little flashlights. Oh, I think it was in the grocery store. In the grocery store, they have a section where they were selling emergency flashlights, and they come with a built-in whistle, just in case you're on the Titanic, because you want to be able to flash those rescue boats and also whistle. According to the James Cameron movie of about 1999, it was the whistle that saved Rose. I think that was the character. I have a ton of that stuff from a company called Bling Sting. Wait, Bling Sting. Oh, you mean like rescue stuff? Cabelas, Rey. Oh, you guys are talking about thrift. You're talking about REI. Oh, like rescue and outdoorsy stuff. I'm gonna go back and see what I think Trigger supported the war in Vietnam. Yeah, that was what happened with Roy Rogers. Roy was an anti-war protester, and Trigger was a big fan. He had posters of McNamara on his wall in the stable. So they came to blows. They came to hooves, fistihoofs, hoovacuffs. They came to hoovacuffs over that. Lana, Kathy, can I? She says, can't slap your knee. Can't you slap your knee and play the ukulele at the same time? I got to figure out some percussion trick because it does take two hands to play this instrument. Who cares about the home when we're together? Oh, spoons. That would be really good. Spoons. Okay. I wanted to do something a little bit out of the ordinary this evening. If there are any children in the room, tell them. No, I'm kidding. It has nothing to do. It's not out of the ordinary in that way. Um, I have an audition tomorrow for, which is the kind of audition I almost never. I have an audition for Romeo and Juliet for the role of the horse. No, for the role of the father of Juliet. Capulet is his name, or capulet, as I like to pronounce it. And he's pissed. He's very pissed because his daughter doesn't. By the way, I don't want to. Again, this is like the spoiler alert last night for Don Giovanni, or 2 nights ago. I don't want to spoil. The play is 400 years old, approximately. But in case you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't seen this play yet, Romeo and Juliet, and you're planning on seeing it, cover your ears, because I'm about to reveal something. In Act 3, Scene 5, the father of Juliet comes in, and he's wicked pissed because because she's apparently she doesn't want to marry this guy that I arranged for her to marry. So don't worry, I'm not going to read the whole scene, but I just thought I would break it out for a second. And oh, he says some very mean things to his daughter. He calls her basically a hoe, and he says, if you don't marry this, if you don't marry Paris, that's the name of the guy. If you don't marry him, um, you can get your meals elsewhere and you can sleep elsewhere. Um, and I'll never talk to you again. So, he plays hardball. Anyway, I actually haven't read the rest of it. I don't know what happens. But I haven't auditioned for that sort of thing, like a Shakespeare play, in a long time. Yes. Remember Mary Poppins one-man band with Dick Van Dyke? Oh yeah, yeah. There are those instruments where you can do it all. All right, what am I talking about here? Okay, I'm not talking about that. I thought I might talk about that, but I'm not talking about that. Yeah, and it's actually at the show. You know what, Jill? I watched a clip of Sorvino doing that. I watched on YouTube a few of the scenes. It's a little weird, Sorvino's approach. I couldn't tell what everyone was doing in that version. It was like, was that Claire Danes, a young Claire Danes as Juliet? And then Sorvino, he comes in yelling. He comes in very hot. But then I couldn't tell, was he doing some kind of an accent? I couldn't tell. The clip was very short. And it seemed like maybe they abridged the text because they kind of shortened his scene a little bit. And he was like physically violent, which I'm not going to be able to do in my self tape tomorrow because it's going to be me alone in front of a camera. Um, yeah, he seems like a mean man. So, Z, what's up? Let's go. I don't. Z, I agree. Let's go. Let's move on from that. Um, oh, what I wanted to say about that Happy Trails. So I have a good friend who the year after college he got a job writing for the local newspaper in the high desert outside of Los Angeles. So just if you go straight east from Los Angeles, you go along Route 66, the famous Route 66, and you end up in a place called Victorville. So my friend wrote for the Victorville Times or the Victorville Herald. And I remember when he was living out there, one of the things, there was one item of cultural significance. There might have been others, but there was a Roy Rogers museum out there. And I visited him once. I'm not sure if we went to it or if I just got a postcard from him with Roy Rogers on it. So I knew that I guess that was Roy Rogers' hometown, Victorville. That was a nice place. Uh, Volk, Volkenvania, Wooch, whoa, Z, hello, Z. It is 3:15 p.m. in Hawaii. Aloha, Z. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not following. I'm very happy to be reading your messages. I need someone to interpret them. These are abbreviations I'm not hip to. The dogs can play the piano. I like that idea. There are some really good videos these days online of dogs playing piano. Oh, let me just do a little plug here. Um, on the subject of animals and animal rights, I've worn this shirt on the show before. This is the Non-Human Rights Project. Please look them up. They're an incredible organization. They work to defend animals, mostly from humans, by bringing lawsuits to bring some constitutional rights to animals. The Non-Human Rights Project. The idea is that animals like elephants who are in captivity for decades, or other victims of human cruelty, are deserving of some protection by the law. So they've done some groundbreaking legal work on behalf of our animal cousins. Please look them up. NHRP, the Non-Human Rights Project. NHRP. And while I'm here preaching, let me also preach this: the Movement Voter Project, MVP, Movement Voter Project, MVP, Movement Voter Project, www.movement.vote, www.movement.vote. That's what we got. That's what it's going to come down to: voting, people. It's going to come down to voting. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride the rail, not the rail, the trail. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Oh, I wanted to also say this, Leslie, and anyone else who's watching. Last night, the suggestion came up: Purple Rain, Prince, that song. You know, I listened to it. I watched his performance of it. This is what's interesting. You are always hungry and thirsty. Ethan, you are always hungry and thirsty. Wait, I'm always hungry and thirsty? What is that? am I drinking too frequently from my Movement Voter Project thermos? Art Og writes, Ethan, you are always hungry and thirsty. Art, are you from the Ozempic company? Are you trying to convince me that I'm always hungry and I need some appetite suppression? Interestingly, I heard an interview that explained that it's not appetite suppression that those things do. Instead of suppressing your appetite, they increase your feeling of satiety, or being sated. So they increase your feeling of full or satisfaction rather than decreasing your feeling of hunger. So apparently it's a different mechanism. But hey, Bella Lune, nice to see you. Here's a happy one for you. While my guitar gently weeps. So that's a great. Oh yeah, Mary. Thank you for reminding me. I'm in my ADD. ADDD. The Purple Rain story is the following. I looked up the song. I watched it. The original video from 1984. 1984 happens to be exactly 40 years ago. And in fact, next month happens to be 40 years to the day from the release of Purple Rain. And so there's some events that are going to be going on. I guess honoring Prince and honoring the release of that song. But if you watch him do it, it's incredible. He's just incredible. The singing, the playing, the whole thing. So Ozempic also cures gambling addiction. You want to bet? While my guitar gently weeps. Again, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's the one, Donald. We talked about that last night when Prince does that incredible solo. It's just a great version all around. That guy who sings, I can't remember his name. He's amazing. And George Harrison's son is there strumming along, playing rhythm guitar, I guess. Two. I don't know, people. I'm at an impasse today. I'm having an existential crisis. No, I'm not having an existential crisis. I'm having I am making a worm compost tea as of today. Added some molasses to give the micro. Okay, that's nice. Is Shakespeare hard to learn? It is hard to learn. Thank you for asking. Um, but like with a lot of auditions, well, a lot of the auditions I do for these TV things, the scenes can be pretty short, so I just memorize them. That's the best approach for me. But with a few pages of Shakespeare, no, I won't be learning. I won't be off book, as they say. I won't have it memorized. So yeah, I'll have to refer to the text. Um, I remember I learned some of it in college for an acting Shakespeare course, and probably memorization was easier when you're 20, I think. It's all about repetition, and it's also about focus. It's about attending to the one thing and just sticking with that. And that becomes harder and harder. I don't know. I kind of follow, you could tell from the way this show goes. This show I just follow whatever someone says or whatever thought occurs to me or whatever connection I make, whether it's from a story or whatever or a song. Um, and I tend to, my days are like that also a lot of the time. So to just sit down and spend a few hours with that one scene, that doesn't really happen. Ba-da-dee-da-da, till we meet again. Here's a good quiz question from Leslie. Thank you. Here's a pop quiz. It's a pop quiz in two senses. It's a double entendre. It's pop. Which songs did Prince write for other artists? Um, and now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. That's something a lot of people don't know. Prince wrote My Way for Frank Sinatra. He also wrote, no, I don't know what he wrote. I have no idea. The form and manner of speech is difficult. Oh, for the shape. Yeah, so I think that's the process. That's the challenge with delivering that text. Since it's 400 years old, and it's elevated language, it's poetic, so you gotta honor that while also making it make sense and turn it into some sort of vernacular. So that takes not just the study of it and the repetition, but the out loud repetition where it becomes sort of muscle memory. Um, that is a great tip, Rosalind says. And I learned this also from all those operas that I sang in. Rosalind says learning lines is easier if you connect each line with an action or a movement. It is a kind of body mapping. Works, absolutely works. I had that many times in operas I was working in, where just learning or memorizing the words and the music in a vacuum or just standing at a piano is much harder than once you're on your feet and staging it, because you just remember and your body remembers that when you're singing that particular line, you're reaching for that table, for that dagger or glass of wine or whatever. And that all becomes connected. And in fact, William James, the psychologist, brother of the novelist, he actually came up with a memory technique that's not dissimilar to that, which was so he noticed that, and he taught at Harvard, and he noticed that walking around Harvard Yard, he could memorize long lists of things by visually, in an imaginative exercise, he would visualize the item hanging in a certain spot. So as he took a walk, he would place, let's say the list was um, elephant, apple, chair, mother. So then he would be walking, and like by the church bell, he'd put the elephant in his head. And then he put the apple down by the statue of some horse. So the elephant and the apple's down by the horse, and the chair. Wait, it was elephant, apple, and then the chair. Yeah, he put the chair at the street corner, and then the mother he would place um, on the stairs of the dorm. Anyway, so it was a similar thing where just associating the word with a place. Yeah, kind of like associating it with a movement. And I think actually walking while studying is also a great thing to do. Happy trail. Oh, he wrote for Patti LaBelle. What song did he write for Patti LaBelle? Okay, I can look that up. Mais non. Oh, mais non. Oh, that was the guess. That was incorrect. Okay. When You Were Mine. Nothing Compares to You. Oh, that's a great song. Oh my God, Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, that is a great one. Oh, he wrote that. I see. He wrote that. All right. Cool. This is the pitch and speed of Igor's voice. Z, again, I love your comment, and it's intriguing and it's mysterious. I had a dream where I saw Rod Serling, so I asked him if he'd help me with my writing. He told me to read everything by Shakespeare and then get back to him. And that doesn't sound like a dream. That sounds like a hallucination. It's such a vivid thing. And did you take Rod Serling's advice? And did you read everything by Shakespeare? Or are those just lyrics to a song? I think that you should just print that and make a song out of that. I had a dream where I saw Rod Serling, so I asked him if he'd help me with my writing. He told me to read everything by Shakespeare and then get back to him. Sounds like a song to me. Sinbad. Yeah, not Sinead O'Connor, Sinbad. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Wow, there's so many interesting comments here tonight. Thank you for mudras. I think Ethan is talking about mudras. Oh no, I'm not talking about mudras. All right, I gotta do another song. The time is a wasting, or time is a ticking. Oh, let's do the midnight on. Oh Jesus! I might have forgotten. By the way, I once almost died in a car wreck, but I didn't almost die. What happened was I was in a little car and it spun out on a highway in Tennessee when I was on my way to an audition. It spun out on a wintry road on an interstate in Tennessee, and my car was spinning, and that's what popped out of my mouth. I said, "Jesus Christ!" Now I don't know if it's because I was in Tennessee or what happened, and I don't know if it was just the physics and the traffic patterns, or if there was divine intervention. Whatever it was, I'm not imputing causation, but I shouted, "Jesus Christ," and my car kept spinning, and then it spun to a stop. Uh, Not in the median, but on the shoulder. So I spun to safety. I was sure I was going to spin and end up under the wheels of a semi or a semi, an 18-wheeler. I ended up, and the car still drove. It was a mess, but anyway. So, Donald, thank you for putting my time anxiety at ease. Donald says, this doesn't have to be on a tight schedule, Ethan. Just do like Feldman and go live whenever you feel like it. We'll still be here. Oh, that's a nice idea. Yeah, I understand that idea, but for me, I have to start at 9. It's a compulsion. It's good for me. It's good for the algorithm. No, I don't. It's not good for any algorithm. It's good for. I don't know what it's good for. It's good for my daily schedule. Weren't you going to read lines from a script? Yes, I was going to read a little bit of that Shakespeare. I probably should do that, but I changed my mind. Jesus saves. It's on the billboards. That's right. Imagine if when that happened and I yelled Jesus Christ and then the car came to a stop, if I looked up and that was a billboard from like some evangelical church down there. Yeah, Z, it might be. It might be time. It might be time to trust in the Lord. Where was I headed? I was headed to Nashville to audition for the opera company, and the audition went fine. And then from the audition, I was headed to Chattanooga to do a job singing in La Boheme in the theater. There's a nice old downtown theater in Chattanooga. That was 21 years ago, I think. So that was nice. Tennessee was Tennessee was very hospitable, although there's a lot of barbecue, so not a fan. Here, I'm going to just read you one little thing, which is, this is what Capulet says to his daughter. These are the names he calls her. First of all, at one moment he says, "My fingers itch." And the kind of translation to modern English is that he really wants to slap her. "My fingers itch," which is a kind of a good phrase. Or it's eczema. He might have eczema. He calls her baggage, which apparently means a hoe. He calls her a hoe. He calls her carrion, which is like carry-on baggage. That's carry-on. That's the small luggage that you take onto the airplane. Carrion. Oh no, it's carrion, like the corpse of an animal that would be eaten by a vulture. And then he calls her a tallow face. Pale-faced wretch is the translation. I just wanted to give you a couple other. He calls her a puling fool. Apparently, puling is puking. He calls his daughter a puking fool. A whining mammoth. He calls her a whining mammoth. It's two M's in the middle, not it's three M's total. It's not the playwright mammoth. It's a whining mammoth, a whining crybaby. I guess mammoth is like in Italian now they call someone a mammone. That's someone who's like a mama's boy. So a whining crybaby. And then he says, if you don't marry this guy who I want you to marry, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul I'll never acknowledge thee. Not what is mine shall never do thee good, so I'll write you out of my will. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Shakespeare insults. Your ninth grade students love them. Yeah, they're good. There's also a great insult scene in La Boheme, which was what I was doing there in Chattanooga, where there's a quartet where the two of the lovers yell really great insults at each other when they're breaking up. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. Happy trails to... Oh, can I invite anyone who's watching to please... Oh, Blicket, or Bliquet asks, what other musical instruments do you play? Well, I play a little bit of rudimentary piano, which I always played to teach myself the roles I was singing. That's really it. I took clarinet as a kid. I took drums as a kid, but didn't retain much. So... Here's a happy one for you. This Bye Bye Love, which I didn't play it yesterday, but I was going to mention it. This song Bye Bye Love, which was a big hit for the Everly Brothers. So it was by this Boudleaux Bryant. I looked him up, and so I think, what was his wife's name? Felice or Felice? She had a Sicilian name. So they were a couple, and they wrote these songs together. They wrote all those hits together, and this was the other one, All I Have to Do Is Dream. That's the one with the Gee Whiz in it. He was from Georgia, and I think they came out with an album together, that couple. When I want you in the night, and I want you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream, 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 I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz. Let me do that again. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I want you so. And that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. All I have to do is dream. That's a little bit of that hit. Those guys, the the Bryants. Thank you for your nice words. Thank you for your ears. Thank you for your eyes. This is the No-Show. The No-Show happens every night at 9 on the East Coast. I'm here in Massachusetts. And I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate your eyes and your ears. I know we have people watching Chicago, Mary, in Hawaii, Z, and in other beautiful places. Thank you for tuning in. And here we go. Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. Please check out, I've been posting, my friend Ian has been posting on my behalf, little clips from my comedy special. You can watch them on TikTok or here on YouTube under the shorts. Little like 1 minute bits from my comedy special. And I really love the way he's posted them with we come up with a title and some subtitles. So if you want to watch them somewhere like in the library or in bed next to someone who's sleeping, you can watch it even with the volume off. So the one today is about gun control. Please have a look. I'll be here at 9 always, every night at 9 always. When you're out of wine, need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always, that's when I'll be there always. I'll be here at 6 if you're on the West Coast. Otherwise it's 9 always. Always here at 9 every night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And thanks, Mary. I'm glad that you're enjoying the show. I'm enjoying doing it. And movement.vote. Take a look at movement.vote. Give them a buck. Give them a buck. Save the planet. All right. Thanks, everybody. Sleep well.